So, let's take a look at this fucking Sense, a cyberpunk ghost story video game from creator Benjamin W. Widdowson via Suzaku and Top Hat Games. This title was funded via Kickstarter, with a successful campaign that launched back on May 15th, 2018. It was a hard-fought victory too, as a 2017 Kickstarter attempt for this one was cancelled due to a lack of funding, bringing in less than half of its $18,000 goal. Rather than give up though, Ben Widdowson took full responsibility for the initial failure, regrouped with his team, and charted a path forward that led to over 1,000 backers pledging a grand total of over $60,000, quite easily blowing past the second campaign's more modest goal of $10,000. All of this made even more impressive given that some industry whistleblowers had let the game's creator know that his production had been blacklisted from coverage by a number of gaming publications. You know the types who write for these shill sites, terrified of beautiful women rocking big old titties. Sad people. Very sad, very jealous. Anyway, how about the fucking game, right? We're dealing with a 2.5D adventure survival horror hybrid. Lots of point and click, but also a dash of real-time combat and a few quick-time events. Inspired by games like Clock Tower and Fatal Frame, Ben Widdowson's goal with Sense was to return the horror genre to its roots by offering a fun, challenging, carefully crafted experience to fans everywhere. In this game, you play as Mai, a voluptuous young lady with cybernetic eyes. The year is 2083 and the setting is the dystopian city of Neo Hong Kong. As Mai, you're out on the town to meet up for a date at one of the local bars. Things take a quick turn for the weird, however, when her cybernetic eyes malfunction. She heads to the bathroom to get her bearings, but when she walks back out into the bar proper, the entire scene seems to have changed. Upon opening a set of large red double doors, you encounter your first troubled spirit, Mr. Broken Neck Man. So it's time to get the hell out of Dodge. It's at this point that Mai's time in the Chong Sing apartments begins. This is where the majority of the game takes place. Throughout the building's 7 floors, Mai is tasked with using her sleuthing skills to uncover secrets and track down the items needed to solve the puzzles that will pacify the many ghosts who haunt this tale. Don't expect this to be the type of game where all your clues will be spoon-fed either. Certain riddles will definitely have you scratching your head. If you're trying to go walk through free like I did, as one didn't even exist on day one, you're going to have to read the various notes and journals you find throughout the game, and then use your brain to piece things together. This can be quite frustrating at times, but when you achieve that aha moment, it's a payoff that's unfortunately rare in many modern games. As for the environments and Sense's sense of style, I can't praise it enough. Almost every room is meticulously detailed, save for a few that are purposely left barren. But the lived-in spaces all tell their own stories. The ghosts who inhabit these rooms each have their own creepy look, and I don't think many will tire of running around as Mai either. Also a nice touch is getting a chance to see the streets of Neo Hong Kong at the start of the game, as well as the cityscape once you progress a ways into the story. Knowing there's this bright, vibrant, busy world just beyond your grasp makes the weight of the interior Chong Sing apartment building that much heavier. You're trapped in the abyss with a clear view of salvation. The graphic novel-style cutscenes are also done masterfully. I wish there'd been more, actually. In fact, how about a graphic novel, Mr. Widdowson? I think more than a few comics gators out there would be more than happy to support something like that. Now, I've been speaking positively about Sense from the get-go, but it does have its issues, and I'm not going to complain like some have about the lack of autosaves or a quick save function, as I actually believe that tension added to my playthrough. Much like Resident Evil and its ink ribbons, Sense uses Betamax tapes for saving. You don't find them very often, but when you do, it's then a game of how long you hold on to them until popping one into a player and recording your progress. I'd say my biggest complaint is that nothing about the combat in this game feels satisfying. I think it could be removed and replaced with QTEs or timed puzzles, and nothing would be lost at all. I also ran into a few strange bugs that forced me to quit to the desktop before reloading my last save. And in a game where saves can be few and far between, that kind of thwarting of one's progress can cause people to turn off permanently. If I hadn't been determined to record a one-sitting completion, I probably would have at least given it a few days before coming back when I ran into those session killers. Luckily, I wasn't set back too far when they occurred, but it was still a pain in the dick. But hey, fans spoke up about these and some other criticisms, and the developers responded immediately. They were actually trying to make it impossible to purchase Sense on Steam until the various issues could be resolved, but were unable to do so, citing Steam's terms of service. Just know that the big problems are being fixed ASAP. For the moment, Suzaku has advised people against purchasing Sense, and they will update everyone via the Sense page on Steam when it meets their improved standards. However, if this game looks fun to you and it's something you believe you'll buy once it's updated, I'd recommend going ahead and picking it up now. As for this classic feeling horror game with its big-tittied protagonist who possesses the skills of a Taoist priest and the cunning to navigate a building full of demonic mysteries, I'm giving it a solid B rank. Really good.